Hello and welcome to another Wineword Italy review. Today I'm going to be reviewing 3 wines from my newfound friends at the Fattoria Eolia in the Colli Euganei near Padova. So first of all, let's sort out where that is. Okay, here's a map of here's Vicenza. Okay, Verona is just off this side, Padova's just off here. These are the Monti Berici, here are the Colli Euganei, a volcanic area, and Rovolon, which is where the cantina is found, is right here. So it's not that far from Venice. Okay, let's think a little bit about the cantina itself first. The proprietor, Giovanni Zini, is very approachable, friendly, informative, also well informed, and gave me a wonderful welcome when I attended their official launch of these wines last Monday. The whole message of the place seems to be based on, in Italian, leggerezza, which is lightness, or I would say probably gentleness in English. The name of the cantina is based on the legendary island, home of the Eolia, the Greek god of wind. The idea is that the gentleness of the wind which blows across the Euganean hills, known as the Rovolon, is reflected in all the products that come from the Fattoria. So, let's have a look at the 3 labels first of all. One I've got chilling here with some ice packs because it is a white, should be served nice and cool. Let's just take it out of there. Okay, I don't have an ice bucket, so if any of my friendly producers have a promotional ice bucket they would like to send me, I'd be very glad to receive one. Anyway, here is the white. This is Rubinara, is the name, Bianco. It is a Veneto IGT. This one is a 2010. We'll have a look at the artwork in a moment. The second, put them in order here, is the Barabàn, which is a Veneto Rosso IGT 2009. And the third is Il Dragone, a Colli Euganei DOC Cab Sauvignon, this one from 2009. The artwork is worth having a look at. Okay, Marta Farina has done all the designing, and she has a very particular style. It's not accurate drawing, it's got a certain gentleness, which is another connection with the idea of gentleness of the products. Let's have a look at that first of all. There we are. Hand-drawn in a fairly simple and yet carefully detailed style. There we are, 1, 2, and Il Dragone, the dragon, there. So, let's start on the first wine, the Rubinara Bianco. There it is, Veneto IGT, 2010. Now, Rubinara is the ancient name for the acacia plant, not the acacia tree you see in Africa, but the acacia plant, which is a shrub very common in the Euganean hills. Now, the wine is produced from one variety only. It's the Garganega grape, and they're all on the Fattoria Eolia vineyards. Okay, pop that one out of there. This is nicely chilled. I've had it in this bowl with ice packs. Nice light, fresh wine. I had the pleasure of tasting this last Monday. Let's pop some in there. Lovely clear. Let's have a look. Okay, there we are. It's a very pale straw yellow. Get the advantage, we've got some light behind me here. Very clear, perhaps a sort of slight greenish hint, but only vaguely. Okay, so very pale straw yellow. Again, the gentleness in the colour as well as in the idea of the whole Fattoria. Let's get the nose in, see what we've got. Okay, it's fruit. Fresh apples. Not green apples, a kind of sort of a rather sort of middle apple, flowery, and maybe a hint of elderflower. But altogether, it's light sensations. Okay, chin chin, let's get a taste going. Oh, very pleasant. It's quite dry. Nice long-lasting taste. The fruitiness is not so noticeable in the taste as in the nose. But it's a very clean, crisp kind of white wine. Absolutely splendid with a fish dish or as an aperitivo, as we were fortunate enough to have it actually in the vineyards. We had a big table laid out with cold meats, cheeses, snacks, and the wine was a perfect accompaniment to those. So there it is, there's the first one, the Rubinara Bianco Veneto IGT 2010. Splendid as an aperitivo or to accompany your fish dish. Now then, next up we'll move on to the Barabàn Rosso, which is a Veneto IGT Rosso 2009. This one is produced from Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc and Merlot grapes in an interesting blend. Barabàn, who was he? Well, he is a legendary character who was a giant in miniature, and the story goes that he would go around dressed as an old man or in old clothes and look for hospitality in country houses and offering himself as a servant to do the heavier work out in the fields. By some strange way this is sort of turned around to represent lightness, because he would make light of heavy work. I think that's the idea. So there he is, there's Barabàn enjoying a glass of the wine named in his honour. Okay, let's get it open. Let's see what's inside. Right. Okay, like I said, a blend of 3 different red varieties, all of which grow very nicely in the Euganean hills. In fact, I've reviewed other wines based on those grapes from the area in the past. So here we go. Yes, and once again, I was fortunate enough to try this the other day. Get some in the glass. Absolutely splendid glug going on there. Okay, and there it is. Let's have a look at the colour. Get some going up the glass there. Again, you've got the advantage of light behind me for a change. Try this way round for a variation. Okay, we've got a intense ruby red, typical of your Cabernet varietals, and certainly the sort of deeper purplish of the Merlot is in there too. So there it is, clear, intense ruby red. And what about the nose? What are we getting? Ooh, fruit, prunes, plums, strawberries, summer fruits. That's what I'm getting there. Okay, a very fruity sensation. Sense of, again, it's a light sensation. There's nothing heavy, and it sort of suggests youth and freshness all round. Jolly good. Okay, well, let's get a taste going. Chin chin. Now that's unusual. It's got the freshness of the young, not so matured wine, but it's also quite heavily tannic. So it's an interesting contrast. Again, I'm not doing it full justice. It would be much better to have this with some salami or some other sliced meats, or maybe a roast of some sort on its own. It's probably not what you would drink a an aperitivo. It's far too complex for that. But certainly the other night I enjoyed it with some first plates, and it went extremely well. So there it is, wine number 2 from Fattoria Eolia, Barabàn Rosso, Veneto IGT, 2009 in this case. Good with your meat dish or some sliced cold meats. And last but probably certainly not least, let's have a look at this one here. Il Dragone, Colli Euganei DOC Cabernet Sauvignon. This one at 2009. There's the beautiful illustration there of the rather jolly looking dragon. And there's the back there just so you can see the labelling. Okay, of course, we all know the story of George and the dragon. George killing the dragon to save Princess Selene, and also the name George is associated with the village of Rovolon. It's the patron saint, the church just up the hill from the Fattoria. Okay, so let's get it open and see what we've got. This one is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, all cultivated in the San Giorgio parish. Okay, it's refined for 12 months in barriques, and we'll see if we can find some of the colour, flavour and smells of the barriques once we get it in the glass. Okay, much darker than its cousin Barabàn. Okay, bit of breeze there, I don't think you can see the colour. There it is coming up the glass. Little couple of arcs of alcohol there showing. It is 13%. Still relatively at the light end of things, as is the whole idea of Fattoria Eolia. Okay, there it is. Let's have a sweet spices. Maybe wild strawberries. Again, cherries are certainly there. Maybe even raspberries. So, you know, the small red fruits are pleasant there. Very, very nice fruity smell. But there is a hint of the alcohol too in the nose. A little hint. But not overpowering. Okay, chin chin, let's give it a taste. Oh. Now that's got a smoother sensation altogether than the Barabàn. It's balanced, it's fruity, and yet you've got the lovely taste of the barrels. The wood has lent more than a little something to this wine. Very pleasant indeed. I'd have to say on Monday evening, this one did rather shine among the three. Yes, a lot more substantial. But having said that, I'd be quite happy to drink that on its own. Really, though, a good roast dinner, a mixed barbecue grill, well seasoned, well matured cheeses, these are the kind of things that would be better alongside a wine such as Il Dragone. So there we are, 3 diverse wines, one very, very welcoming. If you ever get the chance to go, he would welcome you with open arms, I'm sure, and he's very, very proud of what he's created in a relatively short time up there in the Eugenian Hills. So from me, Wineword Italy, thanks to everyone at Studio Crew as well for the invitation. Thank you to you, Giovanni, for accepting and telling me all about your setup. I'll see you very soon on Wineword Italy Reviews. Chin chin.